the government.
I'd hate it. And how long have I got to make a decision on it?
Till the end of this podcast. Right, go. Who do you take? Who's the first person you take, and why?
And where are we going? Mars.
Okay, so a planet where there's an atmosphere.
I've got to know where I'm going because I've got to sell it to the people who I'm asking. There's no point when I go, are you coming with me? Where are you going? I don't know.
It's just like this world. There's oxygen, there's seas, there's rivers, there's forests, there's animals, okay? But we're going to populate it with the human race, and you can choose 6 people to lord over this new kingdom.
You want the best people for the job.
Yeah. So, who's the first person?
Probably Patrick Moore.
Why? Why would you take Patrick Moore?
Just because he knows his way about up there, doesn't he? He'll know the way. So just have him. I think that will, whoever I pick next, if they see that he's going, they'll go, right, you know, it's going to be a long
Moore's
journey as it
board.
is. You don't want someone who's going to be going, is it left here? Is it right? Do you know what I mean?
And he can play the xylophone on the journey.
But Carl is Moore the most useful person to have if you've only got 6, because he may be very useful getting to the planet.
No, but I've
once
always
you got
wanted to
there-
meet him as well. I've always wanted a chat, and that'd be a good chance, wouldn't it, when I'm in a rocket? How long's it taking to get to Mars?
I don't know, a year.
That's what I mean.
No, it's
so,
not Mars, it's somewhere else. Okay, so it's a year to get there, and then...
yeah, well, that's what I mean. So it's a good chance to have a chat with him about stuff.
So
And I think he'd be up for it as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think you know.
Why do you think that?
Just because he's spent his whole life talking about what's going on up there, isn't it? And yet he's never been. And I feel sorry for him. You know, most people when they're into something, they get to go to a place, don't they?
Sure.
People who don't know who Patrick Moore is, he's an 80-year-old astronomer.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So let him have a bit of a good life.
So Moore's on board.
Yeah, Patrick Moore. He's on. Right, out 5 others.
4 others now.
Jamie Oliver.
Why would you take Jamie Oliver?
Just food and that. You need someone, because they say that like you can feel down if you don't eat.
He couldn't convince 8-year-olds to eat a carrot. What's he going to do in this brave new world? They're all going to be on turkey Twizzlers.
I think he's got the right attitude. He wouldn't be faffing about. Remember, we've landed now on this new world.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. The people who've
Listen,
made
I love Jamie Oliver. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be in my 5 people to start a new world. That's all I'm saying. Nor would Patrick Moore, because he knew the way.
Well, what chef would you pick?
I wouldn't pick a chef. Why would I pick a chef?
Because you want someone who's going to, like I say, food's important. When you're low, there's nothing better. If you're a bit fed up, there's nothing better than having a good...
But Carl, I don't think you've quite grasped that these people have to start civilization again. They have to be wise people who can make the laws.
Yeah, and before you do all that, you need a good meal. So Jamie Oliver, that's his job. It's like when we get there, that's when he kicks in.
Right.
He's the first one, really,
Could I
who
suggest
gets going.
Just to save 2 places on Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver, take a map and a cookbook. Okay, who's number 3?
What sort of state is this world in? Does it need...
Oh, he's going to take a fucking gardener. It's like
It's the world, but new.
it's that exactly. It's the world but new, untouched by humans. There've been no fossil fuels burnt, no machinery, no wars. Just this Garden of Eden. And you, Patrick Moore and Jamie Oliver pitch up.
Plus, who else, Carl? Go now. First thought.
Attenborough.
Again, he's a genius, and he's a bit of a hero of mine. But I don't know if we need Attenborough.
Just because I reckon if it's a new world, you're saying it's the same, but they always say, don't they, that all worlds are different. So I'd want him there, just to sort of, when we're roaming around, because we'll all stick together for a bit, won't we? When we're roaming around.
Then they'll be sick of the sight of you. They go, let's lose Carl.
But you've got 2 men so far who've got a combined age of about 150. I mean, if you're starting a brave new world, dare I say it, not going to be around very long. Shouldn't you be taking some younger, fresher blood?
No, not really, because they haven't lived, have they? These have lived, and they can and they're useful. Like I say, Patrick Moore's done his bit. He's got us there. Oliver has cooked us a dinner. day 2, I reckon we'd end that on day 1 there. We'd have a dinner, we'd all have a chat.
I don't think you're thinking of the future. I think you're thinking
trip.
I think you're thinking of the journey and then the first night. Okay. So you've got
day
David
2.
Attenborough,
Yeah.
you've got Patrick Morton, you've got Jamie Oliver, you've got 2 other places.
I get the feeling that you're not so much recruiting people for a new world as I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
As a dinner party with
Yeah.
people you'd like to meet that you've seen on the telly. Oh, come on, 2 more.
I'd text someone who's a bit daft. Just so.
No, you don't need to, Carl.
That's covered, believe us.
No, that's what I mean though. I don't want them having to go at me going, why are you here? I'd point the attention somewhere else. To text someone else who'd sort of wind them up. So
Who's that then?
Paul Danan or someone like that.
It really is. I'm a celebrity. So you've got Patrick Moore, you've got David Attenborough, you've got Jamie Oliver and Paul Danan.
They're starting life again.
Okay then, brilliant. Oh God. Right, one more. This is amazing. It's going to be. I'd love to go back and visit this in 1,000 years. What teachings they laid down. Oh God.
Don't know. It'd have to be a woman. I think you've got to have a woman in that little group, haven't you? Who's could have another woman chef or.
It's mainly eating.
He's got that covered with Oliver, but no, he's got to take Nigella in case he's in a cream cake kind of mood.
Oh God. Delia Smith was furious. She packed her bags and everything.
Or a nurse.
Now you're thinking.
Abby Titmus? Carl, I know you like to be kept abreast of all the latest breaking science news. Did you read recently about the blind mice that they have been able to make see again? And hopefully they're whatever they did, which allowed these mice to be able to see again, they're hoping to be able to do with humans in maybe about 10 years' time, or at least begin tests in 10 years' time, which is pretty impressive, isn't it?
How many of these mice did they experiment on?
3, probably.
Right. They were. It wasn't taking place in a farmhouse, was it at all?
I didn't read the intricacies of the.
Did they have
story.
tails? Did they still have their tails?
The 3 by mice?
Because they.
I don't know. Again,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Well, what's your concern?
Well, I think I know what happened there.
Really?
Yeah, I think the farmer's wife probably got annoyed at
Right.
them running
Well,
after
why?
her.
Right. But how could they run after her? Because they're blind.
I don't know. I think they used a sense of smell and hearing. They could hear her clogs, and they followed the sound of the big fat clogs.
Right.
But they got their comeuppance. They lost their tails, so now they're blind with no tails. Is that not the story?
I think you've confused.
Okay.
Another more recent story
Okay.
with that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll leave that then.
I don't know.
Carl, thoughts though? That
Extraordinary, isn't it? To be able to cure blindness would be a remarkable achievement in science.
It is, but it's just that thing how they say they've done it on mice and what have you.
yeah.
If I was blind and I went in for the meeting, the doctor,
Yeah.
and they said, do you want yours doing? And then they said, like, done it on mice, that wouldn't be good enough for me. I'd say, look, when the blind fella gets in, don't say we've done it on mice, just say we've done this on eyes. If he goes, what eyes? Just say just a pair of eyes.
Yeah.
As soon as you say mouse's eyes, it's like, well, it's not the same. And it sort of, it would make me go, I'll leave it.
Yeah. And then you wake up and you can see, but you've got very tiny eyes right in the. You put in mice eyes. I'm scared of cats.
It's just eyes. I think I just don't like having my eyes messed with, and even if I was blind, I wouldn't like it.
Right.
And I think mine are more active than most, my eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, I went for a what's her name, Steve. You don't know. I've had problems with my legs.
Oh, Christ Almighty!
He's the same. What are you? 33.
He's a
And you
hypochondriac.
talk like you're a 70-year-old.
Honestly, the slightest thing. He's got time off work for this. We went to the dentist 3 times in 1 week. He goes now. His legs rubbed 2 times a week for some reason.
I don't.
In and out of the kidney hospital, and they're going, "There's no kidney stone, Mr. Pilkington." He's going, "Oh, right. Christ Almighty, do some fucking work."
No, the thing is, I've been in the last 30 odd years. I've been working hard, and I've let my body get run down a bit.
How have you? Like, you're 30. What are you?
33.
Right, 33. Sorry to start off with such a hard question. But how have you been working for 30 years?
Well, I just have. I sort of I got on with it.
At 3? At 3?
No, I'm
Well, you
just
didn't get
saying.
on with anything at school, did you? Because you were just pissing about.
Yeah.
You weren't working
Yeah.
out there.
What was the first job you got? How old were you?
I was 15.
Right, okay, so you've been working for 15 years then. Okay, good.
Yeah, but I
right.
had my paper round when I was 10, didn't I? And that was hard graft. That's why I'm bald and that. Getting up at 4:30. It all adds up, doesn't it? All adds up. So anyway, when I kicked my height when I was a kid.
He always says this, like it's a classic story that everyone should know.
Everyone
and
knows
also
that.
the phrase "kicking my own height."
Yeah.
Explain what you mean.
Just kicked my height when I was a
Kick
kid.
your. No one understands.
You kicked
Carl.
your leg up to the
kicked
height
my
that
leg.
you were at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
if
kicked
you
my
were,
height. It's not a well-known phrase. You can't just go, "I kicked my height."
so you were 4.5 foot, and you put your toe up into the air 4.5 feet by kicking.
Yeah, but I landed on my back.
Right,
I
okay.
don't
Imagine seeing that in the playground. They go, get Carl Pilkington to kick his height. I bet he falls over like a
It
fucking
wasn't in the
penguin.
playground. My dad got me to do it in the garden.
Brilliant.
But
So-
why did you
They
fall
sold
over?
tickets, the neighbours were cracking up. Yeah.
Why did you fall over? Did you hit
I just
yourself
didn't,
in
I
the
didn't
head?
have kick the height. I mean, my leg got high up, but I was that chuffed that I got that high. I didn't think of putting my leg down again.
What does it look like? What the fuck did that look like?
He's got to think it all through. I thought it was automatic.
No,
In life, you
Stayed there.
you sort of stay balanced.
Christ
But you didn't
almighty.
think, oh, I'm loving this. This is brilliant. But what should I do now? I got my leg up. I'll just keep it up. Whoa!
It looked like a Hitler salute with his leg. What were you doing?
So anyway, I landed on my back,
Yeah.
and I did some damage, I think. And it's because
Definitely.
of that.
You sure you didn't land on your head?
And it's because of that, like all them years and what have you.
Yeah.
I've had like a trapped nerve in my leg.
Right.
So I thought, right, now's the time to have it done, because when you get older, I mean, it was the kidney stone thing. Once you've sort of looked at, death and what have you, it just makes you think, got to start looking after
Do you
your
think you
body.
could die of the slightly bad leg that you've had for 15 years?
Well, it
Do you
just
think that'll eventually kill you?
well, it could do if I can't run away from danger quick enough.
Right. Again, you're thinking of Jurassic Park coming true.
Well, whatever though. I'm just saying, you've got
Yeah.
to look after yourself.
Yeah.
If there's anyone listening,
could
out
always
there
hop.
who's got a problem, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what though, if you have to fight off danger and you kick them, put the leg back down immediately after.
So anyway, I went to see this fella, to like a professional leg rubber, and he sort of said a few things that were quite interesting. Remember that time when we had a chat on the last lot of like podcasts? I said, am I in charge of my brain, or is my brain in charge of me?
Yeah, do you remember what I said? That's the most stupid thing you've ever said.
Yeah, well listen to this then. So I go and see this leg rubber,
Professional leg rubber, yeah.
right, and he is professional.
Yeah.
Right,
Remember, leg rubber. You haven't said doctor at any
Yeah.
point in this conversation.
He's a leg rubber.
So this whatever, however profound this is, it came from a man who is self-confessed professionally leg rubbing.
Not just leg.
Does he do
back,
left and right? Or?
back rubbing as well. He does it all. Right.
Right.
So I'm in
Professional
there,
rubber.
and I didn't mention about how I thought my brain was in charge of me and stuff. I'm lying there. He's bending me about and what have you. The first problem he came across is that my nerves aren't long enough for my
Right.
body.
I don't know.
My nerves aren't long enough for your body.
He was lifting my legs up and I was going, right, whoa, stop that a minute, that's hurting that. He's like, what do you mean? He said, I've only got them like just about...
Well, that's your tendons.
No, but your nerves are in your legs as well, and your tendons don't hurt, it's your nerves that kick in. It's your nerves that make you
Well,
go,
yeah,
that
but they
hurts.
hurt because your tendons are being overstretched.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said. Right, so he lifted the leg up, and I went, right,
Was
stop
this
doing
above a
that.
laundrette, this surgery?
No, it's a proper place. He had like towels and all that on
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's got towels
Oh,
there.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
the... So,
Definitely a laundrette.
so I'm lying there.
Other people's towels.
He's got towels, underpants, bras.
halfway through he said, you haven't got 20p, have you, for the dryer? Okay.
So I'm lying there, and he lifts the leg up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that hurts a lot. So he said, oh yeah, short nerves. And I said, what do you mean? He said, your outside of the body is longer than your inside.
Right, he doesn't sound like a doctor. He does not sound like a
The
doctor.
outside of your body's
Yeah.
longer than the inside.
So he had me lying on my front and what have you, and he was sort of crushing me back.
Right.
And he was going, does that hurt? I said, yeah. It was like 48 quid this as well. Putting me through all this pain and what have you.
Well, you got some good advice, though.
He said, you're pretty stressed. And I said, yeah. So it's, I've quite a bit of stress in my life. And I explained to him about the kidney stones and that. I said, you know, that's that.
He went, oh, shut the fuck up.
He probably said that. He said that's where you were probably got a lot of tenseness. And
A lot of tenseness. Is that the phrase he used as a trained professional rubber?
He's a doctor. He's definitely a doctor.
So anyway, he said, "Do you relax much?
You haven't got any Lenore, have you? I want these sheets to come out nice and soft."
He said, "Do you, you know, you should learn to meditate or something." He said, "Because you're all tensed up. We're living in a stressful world," as he told me about it. So when I was telling him that I have problems relaxing, he said, that you're obviously the sort of person
who's
gullible enough to spend 46 quid for this hokum.
He said, you're the sort of person whose brain is in charge of them, rather than them being in charge of the brain.
So all you did was you met a person as stupid as you.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it's interesting that this is what he does for a living.
Yeah.
And he picked up, that was the first visit, I'd only been there about 22 minutes.
Yeah.
You get half an hour for 48 quid.
Right.
But he picked up on that within like 15,
no, he saw
20
a right
minutes.
fucking sucker coming. No, he did pick up on that, yeah.
But anyway,
don't go to him again.
The reason, I am doing, I've got locked into it, I've got to go at least another 3 times.
Why?
I'm trying
What
to
do
get
you
out of it. I don't know, I didn't realise that you have to have a minimum amount of things. So what I'm saying
I can't wait. What's the wisdom he's going to come up with next week? That'll be brilliant. I will kind of, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying
Your blood's paranoid.
we were talking...
You've got jealous bones. You're the sort of person whose stomach's hungrier than you. What absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
Do you know, like how we were talking about eyes, weren't we? He said the thing is, you know, you've got to be able to relax, and the way to do it is to focus. Right? He said, so what do you mean? He said, when you go to sleep...
You're the sort of person whose eyes can see further than you can.
He said, when you go to sleep...
Close your eyes, you see. Instead of just leaving them open staring at the ceiling.
Carl, keep breathing.
Yeah, keep breathing. Close your eyes. You're not dead. It may seem like it, but you're not. You're just asleep.
So he said...
oh, fuck me.
He said, what you've got to do when you go to sleep, focus on your toe, right?
Okay.
He said, and just think about nothing else. I said,
he's a witch. Did he say to put a toad under the bed?
no, he just said, focus on the toe and see how you go on and what have you next time you come in, let me know. Anyway, I gave this a go, focusing on the toe.
So what does this mean? You mean you sat in bed staring at your toes?
No, this is it. He said, like, lie down,
Visualising
shut
it.
your eyes and sort of look at it, sort of thing. So I was lying there, and it just wasn't working because
Oh, Carl, this isn't medicine.
I was...
You
even though
were
my
thinking of a
eyes...
finger.
Well, no,
He found out he was thinking of someone else's toe. Next day someone called up and said, Carl, my toe's better.
no, the problem was I was still using my eyes even though I had them shut.
Oh God! Just when I think he could never come up with something stupid, he pulls that one out of the bag.
Right. So what does that mean?
Oh God!
You were still... What does that mean?
I was straining them. I had them shut, but I was sort of looking down at my foot.
You were trying to see through your eyelids at your toe.
Well, I was looking down, so I'm thinking that's where the foot is. Because of that, I was straining them and they were stinging, so I had to pack it in.
I'm gonna die! I'm going to die! Right.
So if anything, this
okay.
guy's just made your stress levels worse.
Yeah,
That's
I said that to
amazing.
him.
That's amazing. Okay, if someone out there's listening, could you put in order the top 10 most stupid things Carl's ever said? And to me, that is number one. That is now number. Well, that's overtaken. Is your brain in charge of you, or is you in charge of your brain? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, chimpanzee, that has only gone and written it down.
The jingle there to announce yet another reading from Carl Pilkington's diary. When are you going to write until, Carl? What have you got? You're going to do
I've got to do
as far as December, and then that's it?
I don't know, when does the diary end?
31st December usually.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it
the
till
whole way
like-
there.
Typical, always the same.
Yeah, that's when I'll do it till, and then
Why do that? Why be conformist? Why end on December? Why not end on January the 31st? Weird that you should go. Don't be constrained to what the diary
Please.
says.
Me mum called me to ask me to like... Fuck me, you're right. Look, that should be. Me mum called me to ask me to look in some of the magazine shops in London for a magazine that she can't find. It's called UFO Data. I said, I ain't heard of it. She said she's seen an advert for it in one of her ghost magazines.
I love the fact that she can't even find the magazine about unidentified flying objects.
Yeah. So we get a clue
She
there.
thinks, I think I saw something, but I don't know whether it was a magazine or not.
So we get a clue there as to why you give any credence to this crap.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean,
Mama Pilkington's into the same shit.
there's a lot of space out there, isn't there?
She said that this magazine has got news story about how Aldrin (brackets astronaut) has got some evidence that aliens exist.
Yeah.
I told her that I found out today that the days are about 36 minutes longer on Mars. We chatted about how this is how they are more advanced than us. Do you mean the Martians?
Yeah, if they've got a longer day, that's more time that they're awake working on stuff.
Right, yeah, we know that makes no difference at all.
No, it does.
Think about it. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Look, think about it. 6 o'clock here,
Yeah.
people are going, see you tomorrow, I'm going home. They'll be going, oh, another half hour. They've got a longer day. Productive.
And that's why they're able to fly.
That's why they're whizzing around. It adds up on it over the years.
Christ almighty, what drivel!
Suzanne got in from work at 11:30. I told her about the UFOs in Mars. She said she's too tired to chat. I said, does it mean aliens will be more tired than us, or do they get more sleep? I got no answer. I love it when
It
Suzanne goes in.
scares her.
She never indulges
No,
in
it scares her. Anything with ghosts and UFOs, she sort of...
It doesn't
ignores
scare her,
does
it bores
scare
her.
No, it freaks her out. Scares her.
Okay. I'm knackered today, and the face feels dry and spotty. Oh God, what's wrong with you?
It starts off moaning! The first thing he does is start moaning! He wakes up and goes, oh, fuck me, I didn't die. Oh, God!
I'm knackered today and my face feels dry and spotty. I think it's the change in water since being away. Or it could be all the Madeira cake I had yesterday.
I'm gonna burst.
I'm gonna Madeira cake. The Madeira cake dries you out, does it?
Well, it's just quite fattening, isn't it? But I like it. It's one of my little pleasures.
Oh, God
Susan,
almighty!
I went for a wander about to try and find the UFO data magazine for my mum. I didn't know which category to look under. There were too many magazines. I noticed how on the rude magazines the women are being pretty rude on the cover, but on the gay magazines it's just a fella smiling, showing a bit of arse. I don't know why gay blokes would buy it. Blokes have got their own knob to look at if they like knobs. Why were you looking at the gay magazine?
No, I wasn't. It's just that.
Oh, you were?
No, I
You
noticed
studied them.
Yeah, because I was
you've
looking
written
for UFO data. I don't
Yeah.
know where they put it.
I don't think you find evidence about the world's down men's pants. Yeah, I don't think you want to boldly go where no man has ever gone before, Carl.
I had no luck trying to find the UFO data magazine. I will try some other shops. He writes UFO data magazine every time. He can just put UFO mag. But
No, but it
You wanna be
reminds me.
right. You wanna
It's sort
be
of-
specific,
If
yeah.
I write stuff down, it means that I remember it more.
Sure.
So, still looking for it.
Got some posts from Oxfam. They're flogging animals for Africa again. They've got new animals in their catalogue now. They've got donkeys and alpacas. Donkeys 50 quid, alpacas 20 pounds. I don't know if this is a special rate or if I could get one from a mam. She's been saying how they've been missing having a pet since they had the cat put down.
Sorry, you don't get it. If you buy that for someone, you don't get it.
Yeah, but they're not bothered where they're going.
Yes,
as long
they
as they're
do.
getting
Of
the
course
money.
they don't. They don't deliver them. It's not like they're in a warehouse wondering, people thinking, I hope people buy this. They're going to put them out there. They're.
But at the end of the day, 50 quid's 50 quid, and they're not bothered. If they're
Right.
sending an alpaca to Africa,
Yeah.
and I'm saying, can you get one to London? To them, that is less hassle.
Right. Carl, that's not how it works. You can't just go and say, oh, I'll have one of them.
They're not bothered. It's for charity.
Carl, of course they are. You can't buy an alpaca for 20 quid. Christ almighty. Plus postage and packaging. They're big bastards.
Read about a pub that is getting some stick because they've stopped a horse going in. It's been the horse's regular for ages, but there's been some new owners who've taken over the pub and they said they're serving fresh fruit and don't want a horse in there anymore.
Oh, God. We've got to publish this diary.
There's some dynamite stuff in
We've
here.
got to publish the diary. I mean, this is never mind, peeps. Can't we put this out next year or something with a special CD?
know.
I
It
just,
is
it's
extraordinary.
amazing. You can't. You can't keep this from the world, Carl.
I met Suzanne after she finished work, and we went for a brew in another cafe.
God, Jesus.
It's always having a brew in a cafe.
It's like a sitcom.
It is. Suzanne said I look tired and fed up. I think it's because I ain't been sleeping.
Or the Madeira cake, we don't know. Always been going to every news agency in London, looking at gay magazines.
She taught me some way to breathe that will relax me. I wasn't feeling that relaxed though, because the person behind the counter was banging about making a coffee. Noise stresses me out. I wonder if less deaf people die of stress than people with working ears do.
Oh, it's the theories. It's the
It is
theories.
such a noisy world, though, isn't it?
It is. London is noisy, very noisy.
I think just everywhere, just noise in general. They were
Yeah.
saying how like every noise has been used at least 5 times or something.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there's only so many
What
noises.
do you mean every noise has been used 5 times? I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means.
Because
I don't know. I've no idea. Every noise once has been used at least 5 times.
there's only so many noises. It's like a piano, isn't there? There's only so many notes.
Yeah.
And there's only so many noises.
Right.
But because there's so much stuff, the same noises are being used again.
I don't know what that means.
By whom? Who's reusing the noise?
By whatever. So,
So a
you'll have-
woodpecker when it's woodpecking?
yeah, some birds make noises that would sound like a Ford Escort, just because there's only so many noises that people can use.
What is he talking about?
Noises are a byproduct. Outside an instrument,
Yeah.
noises are a byproduct. They don't, a machine, they don't go, watch me make this noise, make this machine. It makes the noise it makes when it's doing
But
something.
why does it make that noise? Why not pick another noise?
They don't pick the
Well, who's
noise.
picking
I know.
the noise?
The
That's
printing press makes the noise because it's the sound of the thing
Yeah.
going down.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
the printing-
a hammer makes that noise because that's what it does. No one's going, oh, can we make this make a different noise? No, it's a byproduct.
I
It's-
know. So there's only so many noises.
I don't know what you mean.
You said the byproduct is because of something that's happening, right?
But it's
Yeah.
the physical action, isn't it? And the way that impacts on the surrounding air. That's what how noises are manufactured. It's not a choice.
When Steve Vincent's rocket came and I went, can you make it go? It's what that's the noise it made.
I know, but then, say like a new frog comes out.
Oh, what do you mean a new frog comes out?
They find a new type of frog.
Right.
It makes a noise, and
Yeah.
they'll go, "Yeah, I knew it was going to sound like that."
What are you talking
Because
about?
there's only so many noises. No animal comes out and makes like a weird noise, and you go, "I've never heard that noise before." They go, "Oh, that sounds like a chicken," or "It sounds like a Ford Escort," or there's only so many
What frog
noises.
sounds like a Ford Escort?
Well,
No,
there
but there'll be
can't be
some
many
animal.
because you've used Ford Escort twice as an analogy here. So you're running out of noises. You've come up with chicken and Escort so far.
I can't
But
explain
the problem
it.
is, a Ford Escort sounds a bit like an Austin Allegro. So
I
don't
know, yeah, and a chicken. You're ripping off the turkey, you cunt. Oh, chimpanzee, that is competition time.
I think my worry there is people might get confused with it because that jingle is very
Yeah.
similar to the Monkey News jingle.
There's aspects of it that's similar, yeah.
Yeah, it's just some people might have just heard that and they might have just heard chimpanzee and thought, oh great, it's Monkey News, but Carl presumably is too lazy to have actually prepared any Monkey News.
Oh, I've got some good news about Monkey News, actually.
Have you?
If you are craving Monkey News, then there is a special Monkey News poster in the CD, the 3 CD box set, the Ricky Gervais show. Got everything. It's got the 12 shows and MP3. It's got the best of, and it's got an extra hour of brand new material as well. And the reason we did it on CD is because some people were saying, I've heard about this, but I can't listen to it. I haven't got an iPod. I haven't got a computer. So buy that for a friend who can't listen to these.
It's the perfect Thanksgiving gift.
It is the perfect Thanksgiving gift, or Pancake Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we've signed one that's going to a lucky winner. We did a competition on the last podcast to give away one of the CD box sets, the World of Carl Pilkington, and we've signed that, and Flannels of the Deep, the new book in the series.
Can you remind us, Rick, of the quiz question?
The quiz question was, do you want these?
Okay, and what was the correct answer?
It was yes.
Well, we've had... it's amazing, actually, how many people didn't realise that was... We've had a lot of people saying, no, I'm not interested, who are you, why are you bothering me? But, amazingly, Rachel Bolland from Glasgow has got the correct answer. She said yes. Now then, we
Yeah.
need a new question, Rick.
Yeah, should we give those away again? Should we
Let's give those away again, the same
Yeah.
things again. Not obviously
Okay.
these, we'll send these to
No,
Rachel.
different
We'll get
ones.
separate
You get so you get. Do you want a signed CD, The World Carl Pilkington and Flannels of the Deep? Okay.
Plus, we can also add to that, Rick, the forthcoming extras script book.
Ah, not just a script book, Steve.
No.
It's got some wonderful pictures, but that taken by Rich Hardcastle of people like Ben Stiller and Sam Jackson and Kate Winslet behind the scenes.
In their off-duty moments.
And it's brilliant. It's really good. We'll put some pictures up on the website. Go to rickygervais.com and you'll see what you could we'd be winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got that perfect collection of stuff, but we need a new quiz question.
Okay. Okay. So those prizes. Does someone else want them?
Does someone else want them?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Well, if you know the answer to that, then get in touch. podcast@rickygervais.com. Good luck, it's a tricky one.
Oh, good luck anyway, because I never read the emails. Well, that's the end of the second in this series of 3 special podcasts. That was the end of the Thanksgiving edition. With me, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant,
See ya.
and Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Thank you to Positive Internet, the guys that host this podcast. They're doing a great job.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited. The Ricky Gervais Show on Guardian Unlimited.
Hello, and welcome to our Christmas podcast with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello.
and Carl Pilkington.
All right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. A lot of people are wondering, Rick, if having done so many podcasts this year, because we very much started the whole podcast revolution ourselves single-handedly roughly this time last year,
Yeah, that's right.
have we perhaps exhausted the podcast phenomenon? Is it time to pack up the equipment and move on to something new?
Well, this will be the last one for a little while, I think. I think, we did, I think 24, and then these specials this year. I think we started it about this time last year.
Well, I don't know
didn't we?
about you, Rick, but I'm bored of the whole podcasting thing, and I know that you probably feel the same way.
Well, let's stop for a while. We might get back together again, but it won't be for a while. It's we had a year. It was the year of the podcast.
In a weird year, isn't it?
Go on.
No, I'm just saying, when you look at it like that, when you think about all the podcasts that we've done
Yeah,
over a year,
yeah.
just a lot of stuff has gone on.
Looking back at the year, a year in which we've seen, increasing violence in Iraq, we've seen the advent of more fears over global warming, we've seen George W. Bush take a massive battering in the midterm elections, we've seen many major world events this year. Carl, what stuck out for you?
What event if you think, oh my god, if you were doing your own review of the year, what would you put on the front cover?
The grub that was eating biscuits on the windowsill.
Right, that's just a little bit more up there for you than the capturing of Saddam Hussein and his sentencing to death.
Just because it's I never thought I'd see that this year.
So what
What,
exactly?
the capture of Saddam or the grub?
No, the grub.
The grub.
It was just I was there on the computer. I
Yeah.
was having a cup of tea and a biscuit. I put the biscuit on the windowsill. Sort of picked it up.
Why would you do that?
What? Why?
Why would you put a biscuit on a windowsill?
windowsill?
Because I'm sat next to the windowsill.
It's like something from a cartoon. I put the pie on the windowsill to cool down,
Yeah,
No,
and
so,
some ruffians stole it.
yeah.
so I was eating that and was enjoying it. Put the rest of it back down for like the next half of the cup of tea, and I saw
Planned out. This is. I bet. Well, we'll read about this later in the diary.
and then I saw just like a little crumb moving. I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
So I looked down closer, and there's an insect that is see-through, but with legs, and just sort of running off with a crumb into like a little hole. And then when I looked, I noticed there was loads of these little see-through things, and they were obviously all like, "Oh, I got biscuit." And
And That's exactly what they were saying.
We've got biscuits
over here.
But I can't, that, what was it, like I say, it was amazing because they're miles away from what I'm about, and yet
Not that far.
but they still like a bit of biscuit, and it was just weird that happened. I never thought that would happen in 2006, and
You never thought that would happen in 2006.
that's what's nice. Isn't it? That's what's
mind.
nice about the the nature of the world. You know, we can invent iPods, we can bring out better vacuum cleaners, but at the end of the day, you can't make nature up. And to see this see-through thing,
You do.
eating a biscuit,
blow
that's
your mind?
where I've sort of gone this year. I'd say out of anything, I've sort of gone out of my way to learn more stuff about weird stuff that's
But I
out
don't
there.
know what you've learned. You've learned that
A creature which you can't even identify
that
or
you
name.
don't know, right? You don't know what it is, or looked like it nicked a bit of crumb. I don't know what knowledge is that. What is that? How is that useful?
Just because everything is changing.
But it's not useful. It's not useful to you, and it's not useful to anyone. You can't pass on that as knowledge because we don't know what it was,
But Carl
or where
thinks,
it happened, or
but-
why it happened.
But Rick, Carl thinks that the grub has an inkling, has a taste for McVitie's in the same way that Carl does. That's why
Yeah.
he's from Meggs. He's thinking,
As-
I can't believe it. We both love hobnobs.
As opposed to just being
extraordinary.
taking the
He would have
starch
eaten
from the
anything,
flour.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that these things have been around for years,
Yes.
maybe longer than us,
Yes.
right? Now, their life isn't changing in the way that ours have. They still live in a little crack in the wall,
Yeah.
but they're eating biscuit, and that was never meant to happen. So it's changing it. What
But-
I mean is, you might start getting fat insects. That should never have happened. You don't normally see a fat beetle. You go, oh, look at that, that's a bit fat. Put a bit of weight on. And now that's going to happen because they're eating sugary stuff. The squirrels in the park, because people are feeding them Mars bars and everything, they're getting fatter, they're getting bigger, they're getting more violent. Now, over time, you know, they're going to cause more trouble than they
What
are now.
evidence have you got
What
that
do
they
you
get more
think?
violent?
Just
what-
because when I'm sat in the park and what have you, they really like cocky. They come up to you now and sort of jump up on the bench and sort of attack you for food. They're not happy with acorns now. They want a bit of croissant. And that's what I'm saying. They've changed. They're changing over time. Just like that grub having a biscuit. Everything's trying different food out.
He'll want a gatto soon.
Well, in the same way that, you know,
Eclair.
you look at people around the world, how they're eating weirder stuff. They're running out of, you know, ideas on how to cook food differently. And we're eating weird stuff. So our insects, everything's moving on. Everything's getting more intelligent. The goldfish memories got better. Chickens are more intelligent than people thought they were, apparently. Everything's... Time makes you more intelligent.
Well,
No, they do. That's a fact, isn't it? If you're knocking around longer, then you're learning more because more stuff's going on and you soak it up. And that's what these insects are doing. They're all learning. You know what I mean?
No.
I saw a cockroach playing Pac-Man. It was on the internet, right? And somebody had linked up a cockroach to some. I can't even be bothered explaining it, but that's what I'm saying. Everything's moving on.
yeah, but Pac-Man's like such an old hat game, man. It's like from the 1980s.
Yeah, that
so
cockroach is
Jesus
so-
Christ,
oh,
so
God.
out of date.
Get a
with
life,
it.
man.
Hello, PlayStation 3. Is it
Hello.
on? Hello.
Yesterday's cockroach.
Oh.
Fucking hell.
What was he listening to? MC Hammer.
Christ almighty. Fucking hell, Pac-Man. Get a life.
High five, man. I was in the supermarket recently, just walking past the condoms on the way to the pornography, and I thought, you know, it's worth perhaps, you know, getting a stocking. You know,
You get a stocking?
No, getting some condoms.
What, to put over your head? You're not still doing that, are you?
No. No, I thought it was worth getting some condoms in. You know, it's Christmas party season, and you never know when you're going to run out of balloons. and I was weird because the condoms in the supermarket are contained in a kind of cage, in a plastic cage, so it makes it all the more embarrassing buying them. Because I took them off the thing and I was trying to open it sort of because I thought that they would you had to open it,
Try it on.
Exactly.
This, in case it doesn't fit,
Exactly.
bring it back.
Yeah,
Bring it back. Yeah.
and I was
Do you do alterations? Yeah, we do. Yes, £5.
And so I'm trying to open this thing, and this guy who works there, sort of with his middle-aged guy who works there, goes, you have to take that to the checkout. So you can't open that yourself. And I was just because I don't know, I still find it very embarrassing, dealing with any of that sort of prophylactics and things. The novelty of that is still very embarrassing to me. And so I just left it. I thought, forget it. I'm not gonna take these to the counter, because you never know. It's like if you get served by a woman, it's still a bit embarrassing, particularly if that's all you're buying. Because she knows what you're up to. You're going to fill them up with more and throw them at students. And anyway, the reason I mention this is because it reminded me of the conversation we've all enjoyed in the past, Rick, about when Carl bought for his girlfriend for Christmas. Was it a
2-pack?
A 2-pack of
Yeah, what was it?
condoms?
Wasn't it about buy one get one free?
Yeah.
It was a bumper family pack, wasn't it? Not
Yeah.
a family, obviously. That'd be weird.
Yeah, a family pack of condoms. One for the kids. Take them out, enjoy yourselves. So that was a couple of years ago, Carl. The famous condom gate. Have you bucked your ideas up since then?
Not really. They were the early days.
Do you mean the early days? You'd been going out with her for about 8 years, hadn't you?
Yeah. But I just think that as time goes on, you don't sort of buy each other as many presents.
Oh, so sorry. That was a bumper year, was it? That was a hell of a. She went. Oh, I remember when you used to buy me stuff like condoms. It's gone downhill since then.
Well, no, she
your
didn't know
presents.
she was getting them. What I mean is, there's less.
Of course, she
surprises.
didn't.
That's what I mean, though. It was sort of interesting to when I gave them her and said, "There you go, open them." She was not expecting that, and as time goes on,
No, she was probably expecting a piece of jewellery or a holiday in Paris.
it's more difficult, is what I mean, to surprise someone in it over
No,
time.
no. But the surprise thing is meant to always be a good surprise.
Yeah, but don't. If you always get something good, it's like the 3 wise men. What did they get the second year for little baby Jesus? Do you know what I mean? Once he's had that gold, it's like, I've sort of made it hard work for myself there. I've got to get him something better than that now. So it's best to give him the myrrh
And next year, get him the gold.
step it up a bit or whatever.
But don't you understand? Because I don't want to criticise you because you're a lovely man, but having read the diary and read much of this diary, one of the things I notice is the complete lack of romanticism. The number of times Susanna says, book us a lovely meal out, take me out tonight, and you always write like it's a massive chore, like it's a headache for you. Oh no, I've got to spend a romantic night out with my girlfriend.
Because it's the same reason I don't like Christmas and stuff, is the expectations. I prefer it, if I want to take Suzanne out, I prefer to meet her at the bus stop, and she comes back from work and go, you want to go out?
But you don't
Rather
do
than-
that.
No, I do now and again, but it's that thing of, oh, we'll go out tonight, I want to leave it to you, book a place, It builds it up too much and it can never live up to it. It's like how you know how like people make a big thing out of, having it away for the first time, and they go, oh, I'm going to do that tonight. Not the way to do anything. You won't get anything done by planning.
That's a quote! That's an amazing quote! That'll be up there with Newton and Churchill. You don't get anything done by planning.
No, but
that's amazing.
Like I've said
But
a
you
lot.
can't just spring it on someone, you have to at least ask her, are you up for it tonight?
Just see how it goes. That's what I'm saying about Christmas. I might not be in the mood for it on December 25th for Christmas, having turkey and everything. That's what I mean about, in the last podcast, stuff coming round every year. Don't plan it. If you fancy a Christmas, have it. If you don't, just carry on. It'd be nice to live in a world like that. They say, it's a world of freedom or something now. It isn't.
No, I don't know what that means.
I don't know who
You
says
just
that.
make up things they
don't
say.
They say, like, today's world is a free world or something. Someone said something along them lines when it isn't. Everyone's still being told what to do, when to do it. Christmas is a big thing, isn't it, that we all have to go through, and it's stressful. It's
You're
not a happy
such a
time.
miserable sod. You really
No,
are.
but Christmas is it's a big upheaval. It is out of all of those special days that go on, Christmas is the one
But
that's...
what are you doing with your time? It's the question we return to again and again.
No,
We
but
read it.
why-
You're visiting your parents. You're hiring a car. You're going down the calf. It's not like you're taking your work away. You're doing some important neuroscience work, and we've had to take you away from that for 3 days.
No, but what
You're not doing anything of any value, Carl.
But what I might want to do, but I can't because the shops are shut because they want to go off and celebrate Christmas. You know, it's an upheaval. Easter's all right. It comes and goes. Do you want an egg? Not really. Don't have one then. You're not forced an egg.
You're not forced an egg.
I like Easter, and everyone can afford an egg. There's no one being left out. Whereas Christmas, everyone goes back to the family and they have a big meal and all that. And there's a lot of poor people out there who can't do that. So it's more of a, if you're going to talk about religion and the religious sort of occasions, Easter's one that I'd keep. If you plan everything, you probably won't do it in the end. Whereas
again, that as a soundbite is gobbledygook, isn't it?
No, what I mean is, say holidays, when you know they're coming, you never enjoy them as much as one when it's surprised on you.
Who surprises someone with a holiday unless you win it on a game show?
How can you go, bloody hell, I'm on holiday?
Suzanne did it with me. She sorted it all out and booked me time off work without me knowing.
That's a lovely romantic gift.
Yeah, and I went along with it and we had a great little holiday.
Yeah, so maybe you should do something like that for her.
No, she wouldn't like it as much, and I won't pick the right place, and I know she won't like it.
You're one of these people that washes up badly so you'll never be asked again, aren't you?
No, that's my job. That's the only job I do.
Yeah, well, it was a...
but to be honest, that's doing me head in at the moment, because I've outgrown the sink.
He talks about himself like a crab. Oh God! Gotta get a new sink for Carl. Why? He's outgrown it.
No, just
he's 33 now, and his knees around his head. Oh, he can't bath in that anymore.
No, just my back's been playing up a bit, and I think it's because of the height of the sink.
But hold on, you haven't grown.
I think I have.
Well, you haven't. No, you haven't grown at 33.
Well, it's definitely something. It's just not very good.
Subsidence?
I don't know. I've just said to Suzanne, I said this isn't as good as it used to be. It's not.
This isn't as good as it used to be. He's washing up. Oh, he says he's got nothing in the flat. That's why he has to do a shop every day, because he's got nothing in the flat.
It's easier that way, isn't it? You don't know what you're going to want to eat.
But that's why you get a... But you don't have a different meal every day of the year, do you? You rotate maybe a dozen meals, don't you? So you can get in enough ingredients that any time you go to the fridge and go, oh, am I going to have chicken? Or am I going to have fish today? Or maybe I'll have some pasta. I do that every day.
No,
but I always come down to one of half a dozen meals.
You've got a freezer. We haven't got a freezer, have we? We've only got a little fridge.
Oh,
there's nothing wrong with nipping to the supermarket. There's nothing wrong with that.
So you've got too much time on your hands, boy. You had one thing. You had to do one thing this year. Promote the book.
Couldn't be bothered.
Couldn't be bothered, mate. Could not be bothered.
I haven't seen Carl in an interview with him. I haven't seen him on the TV.
Oh, he was on the TV a while back on the thing called The Culture Show on BBC Two. And I'll tell you what, he was sat there, looked like a little frightened frog in a chair being interviewed. And I'll tell you what, I'm not being funny, but his head looked fucking round.
Did it look fucking
round?
Yeah.
Literally looked like a little fucking round-headed twat.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
And that's my personal opinion. Did you enjoy that interview?
Not really.
Why?
Well, I met a guy, funny you should mention that, I met a guy when I was in France recently, and I met a guy, he wasn't a Frenchman, but he was over there, and he saw me, he was a bit drunk, and he came over and he went, Carl Pilkington's got a head like a fucking orange. And I high-fived him and we agreed. I thought, isn't that nice? Even when you're abroad, you can find someone who speaks sense.
Yeah. Have they shaved your head more?
No. It's just
they sort of greased it up a bit just to get a bit more reflection off it.
No, they put a lot of makeup on it. They said, do you want any makeup? And I said, not really. And that's when I was like at the back where they could have done it. And then I went and sat in the chair and there's like a live audience there. And the woman goes, no, I best do some colouring in. And it was like
she gave you a book to colour in?
People. No, she started colouring my head in. And she was like had some brown powder. She's doing my head, doing the top of it and stuff. And I was going, isn't that enough now? And everyone's looking and sort of laughing to themselves that I'm having my head coloured in. I'm sure she was doodling on the top. She took longer than anyone else who she was doing. I watched like other people who were on.
Well, she's got more flesh to do. When you do usually powder someone, it stops at the forehead. Yours had to go around to the fucking back.
Yeah, but the camera wasn't at the back of my head. It just kept going.
No,
and
but
going.
the shine for the cameras that would get
the glare.
in people's eyes.
You've got to be careful. Health and safety. The light will bounce off into the eyes of the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wasn't happy with that anyway. so I'm not doing it again.
How do you cope with this newfound interest in you as a person?
I've got an idea, Steve, by the way. You know, I've got for me, I want Carl to be famous, so it gets him hassle in the street.
Yep.
That's what I'm hoping.
Sure.
When they see him in the street
yeah,
with his
yeah,
little
yeah.
fucking round-headed face like a fucking orange.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to do a tour next year, okay, called Fame, okay? And everywhere I play, if I hopefully play to millions of people in, I might even go to America, but I'll make sure at the theatres I play, or whatever, there's a picture of Carl on the seat, right, that they can put in their window. So next year, I want a picture of Carl.
Or what they're asked with.
Or whatever. But if you can make this yourself, put Carl everywhere. So, have you seen this bald-headed twat? Please make up the posters.
Just send emails to friends.
Absolutely. I want to see pictures. If you own a shop, but a big picture of him. If you just, even if you're your own home, your own flat, get it everywhere. Have you seen this bald-headed twat? This is Carl Pilkington. He's got a head like a fucking orange. Get it everywhere. I want to see the world papered with Carl's round head.
Happy New Year.
Oh, he's only gonna write it down for a whole fucking year. Useless.
That, of course, signifies another reading from Carl's diary. This is the last one of both 2006 and on any podcast for a while. Let's make the most of it. Let's enjoy some of the wisdom.
I also
of
think
Carl
it's the
Pilkington.
last time ever he will make an entry in this diary, because you're not going to keep another one, are you?
I don't know yet. I might just get a smaller one. But I found that since keeping a diary, I've gone out of my way to do more stuff.
Well, you say that, but
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if that's true.
No, I have.
I read a bit in the news about people being injured while trying to cut open avocados. It's a food that ain't worth injuring yourself for. If it's a hassle to get into, leave it to the experts. I have never bought one. I have also avoided coconuts and pineapples. The amount of hassle to get into these things outweighs the joys they give.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I never bought a pair of Dr. Martin boots. Too much hassle when it's time to take them off.
Yeah, a lot of my mates used to wear them in like the 80s. You know, you can't just kick them off, can you? It's a big upheaval.
You've got it on.
I found shoes with Velcro on them. Brilliant. Just the way... I don't understand why laces...
Is it because you can't tie your laces?
No, I can do it, but it's wasted time.
you're so lazy. Wasted time. That gives him more time to sit around and look at insects,
How long
eating
does it take
biscuits.
to take off a pair of boots?
Well, it's
14
ridiculous.
seconds?
He can't fit his days as it is.
No, but I don't understand how some inventions sort of catch on and other things don't.
But this is what I mean. He's got too much time on his hands. Sitting around at home thinking, why are we not using Velcro more?
But there's
Why are
one
we-
Velcro manufacturer going, yes! At last! He said what needed to be said.
Why don't you get it sponsored? Because you could wear a Velcro toupee. Because that would be great if we could do that. If someone could invent a little hairpiece for Carl, Velcro's the little bit of fluff he's got on the top of his head, his shiny orange-like head. Pop a little Velcro toupee on. I would love that. I would love to get him wearing a wig.
But why necessarily reduce it to a toupee? Why not some kind of carrying device? You know, he could carry goods and things around in there, sandwiches.
Yeah, he doesn't look like carrying a bag. Well, what about that? A little thing you carried around, a little Velcro thing you carried a pot on your head for your sort of like keys and trinkets and money and that.
Well, no, I've told you about that idea that's out there but hasn't caught on as well. The tie.
Right.
The tie with loads of pockets and stuff in it.
Yeah, but you got to wear a tie.
Yeah, but that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? I've never wore a tie because I always think, what's the point? It's just hanging there in the way.
Can you imagine this image of Carl walking around in his big Velcro shoes, a tie with an apple stuffed in it, car keys,
Yeah.
iPod?
No, but don't you think it's a good idea?
Would you wear it with a shirt and collar or just a t-shirt?
No, wear it with a shirt. That's what I'm saying. It's an invention that will smarten up the world. Now, a tie, what does a tie do exactly?
Yeah.
What does it do?
Nothing.
Right, so I'm saying make it do something.
But I'm saying don't wear it at all. Pop your keys in the trouser pocket.
No,
or
because,
take a bag.
because the world is getting more and more scruffier, isn't it? When you look
I
back,
don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
when you look back at like Victorian times and everything, everyone wore a hat. Right, they wore a tie, they wore a suit, and it was a nicer looking place to look at. When you see it on pictures, you go, "What a smart world that is."
Well, you can't see cholera and things on pictures, but sure.
No.
No, but I'm just saying it's better to try and cover it up with a bit of,
Cloth.
yeah. The world looked nicer with more cloth. Whereas now everyone's rowing about scruffily. So what I'm saying is, if we make the tie more useful, and give it a purpose, it might come back and the world will look tidier.
But a tie, its purpose is to look smart, really. Well, originally it was because we didn't have buttons, so it kept the collar up at the front. That was the invention. It was a useful invention, the tie.
Yeah, that's
it was
right.
called a tie. It tied together. Okay. So then, when we had buttons, that we didn't really need the tie, but it was a symbol of smartness, like saying I've made an effort.
Yeah.
Okay. But now that would go away. So now you wouldn't look smart with a tie. They go, well, look, it's like a bag round his head with his apples and oranges and his keys and his sticks he's making a nest out of. So it would be scruffy. It would make the tie scruffy, so it would defeat the object. So now when you're carrying stuff around, I mean, crawling on all fours because your shopping's so heavy round your neck, they'd go, look at that scruffy fucker on all fours. Oh look, but look at his lovely head of hair. It's Velcro.
It's a hat!
Yeah, well, that's the other problem, isn't it? I can't go back to a wig now.
My theory about reading old news is right. It's less bad when you know it's old. It was a story about a weatherman who was fired yesterday for having a nude picture of himself on the internet. But that happened 2 days ago. He's probably got another job by now. So old news isn't as shocking.
Well, old news isn't news, though, is it? It's olds. What are you doing? Just reading the olds?
No, but what I mean is, if someone
Stick the video on of last week's news. I just want to catch up on the olds.
yeah, but then it's still news. News is something that you don't know, isn't it? If someone tells
That's
you something,
everything to you.
That's information, Carl, not news.
Yeah.
but news is information.
No,
And
the
what-
key with news is the word new.
No, I don't think it is it? It's
is.
just information, but they tell you at 10 o'clock at night. It's like, what information's gone on? Bong. Here's some information.
Yeah, that you didn't know before because you couldn't have because it only happened today. Bong.
Yeah, but never mind that. I'll tell you in a couple of days. It doesn't matter as long as you get the same info. Bong.
Yeah, we can't call it news though because it's misleading. We'd get done. It's called olds. Bong.
Yeah, but listen to my theory. What I'm saying is that if someone in your family, you know, I don't want it's Christmas and that, I don't want to bring the tone down, but someone dies in your family. Now, say if you're away on holiday and they don't call you because they don't want to ruin your holiday, and you come home and they go, Uncle Frank's dead, and you go, oh, when did that happen? And they go, 2 weeks ago. Now, because everyone else has got over it, it's not as bad for you. Because part of bad news is the way everyone's walking around moping, going, oh, have you heard the news? Frank's dead. But because everyone's got over it, time is a healer. That's what I mean about old news. It's better than new news.
But according to you, the only news that really matters is stuff that affects you. So it doesn't matter when you. There was an earthquake. When was it? Yesterday. Phew, that's all right then. Often the aftermath is worse than the actual event. 2, you only care about things that actually happen to you. So the doctor goes, "You got a kidney stone." Oh, when did this happen? 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's all right then. Doesn't make sense.
No, but the world
But
is...
you're not upset about dead Uncle Frank just because other people are upset. You'd be upset personally. Would it make any difference when they told you?
Yeah, but it is everyone else's emotions that make it worse, I think. Knocking around people who are miserable.
What about warnings? What about when they do things like smog warnings or, you know, there may be a...
I don't like it on the news when they sort of say, news just in. I think, oh, what's this? You think, oh, what's going on?
But it might be useful
It
to
might be
know it.
important information.
No, it just makes you panic.
What? Yeah, but sometimes knowing stuff keeps you alive.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. It's sirens, you say. I don't like sirens, do I? I've said to you, I think it's a scary noise.
Well, it's meant to be so you get out of the way.
No, it's not meant to be. It's a sign to get out of the way. I'd prefer it if it... Like I said...
Hiya! Could you just move out of the way
Well, it can
for
be
us?
anything, as long as we know. It can be a chicken noise. But as long as you know
Oh,
that's
that's not going
chicken
to freak
noise...
people out.
No, but it sort of make you smile. But you go, oh, let's get out
What,
of
you're
the way.
cycling along and you hear what sounds like a giant chicken behind you?
And you smile because you know that even though someone is burning to death, there's something clucking in my way. Do 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 whack! Do 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 whack!
Oh, that's probably a guy having a heart attack. Going to my mum and dad's today. I'll cut to the chase, Rick. They basically, we got about 4 pages while they drive to his mum and dad's.
Oh,
but
Jesus
I'll skip
Christ.
past that because it
Yeah.
takes fucking forever. Got there, mum and dad. His mum made him some dinner. The old woman next door, brackets, whose man was a witch, just pop that in brackets. Just pop that in brackets. I think we've discussed that before, actually. The old woman whose man was a witch.
Whose mum was a witch.
Yeah.
Oh.
The old woman next door has been worrying because she keeps seeing adverts on the telly about changing to digital TV. She's saying she doesn't want wires drilled into her walls because they'll make a mess. My dad told her that it doesn't matter because it'll probably won't happen until 2012 and she'll be dead by then.
He didn't say that to her though.
No, he
did
did. They've got, she's old. It doesn't. She knows she's going to die. I mean, it's something we've all got in common. And he's right, isn't he? Why is she worrying about it? Maybe that's sorted it out. Put it into perspective for her. You will be dead when this happens. Don't be worrying about it. But everybody worries, don't they? You've got that little sort of hole in your head that you fill with worries. Everyone's got to fill that little worry hole with worries, and that's it.
Worry hole. Everyone's got to fill the worry hole with
assume that there's a worry hole.
A worry hole.
Don't be filled with worries.
I love the fact that doctors in a million years would dig this up and go, humans used to have a worry hole.
Went to bed around midnight. Suzanne and I decided to sleep tops and tails because it made me get a bit more room. My dad had cut a bit off the mattress to fit it between two cupboards. It's amazing how much of a difference it makes just sawing off a bit of the mattress. You sort of roll to the edge, but the weight of the blankets keeps you in. This is like something from a Roald Dahl book.
No, it's just you think anything, you can sort of trim anything, can't you, and it normally works. But with a mattress, I mean, he only took off, I don't know how long that is,